I genuinely think at this point, like starting a life is probably the most awkward thing I do in my business. Not doing a life, but starting, it's like, can they see me yet? Am I live yet? Am I being recorded yet? Is this being broadcast? It's really awkward. Welcome. Welcome. Today, in today's live stream, ladies and gentlemen, I want to help you identify sales opportunities. So if you're like, sales are down, let me go and create some content, stop, watch for the next 20 to 30 minutes. If you're like, I just feel like there is an opportunity to sell to more people, I just can't figure out how. This is it. I want to empower you to figure out exactly how you can activate certain sales opportunities, certain leads within your network in a service focused, relationship forward way. And probably, honestly, if you implement today's live stream, make a sale by tomorrow. Today's Thursday, wherever you are in the world. You could be making a sale within the next 24 hours simply by implementing the frameworks I'm teaching you today to recognize and then gently, through service, activate a lead who really, come to think of it. All right, I have some technical trouble here for just a moment. So great. There we go. Great. So I just mentioned you're probably not fully aware of all of the opportunities to make sales in your business. This is not me talking to you about how to find new leads. This is me talking to you about how you can send one message or two messages to a person that I'll help you identify today who actually, without you having realized it, is ready to be invited into a paid offer. Most of us, when we want clients, when sales slow down, default to creating more content, more mass marketing. But actually, one of the most powerful and most efficient and most rewarding things you can do when sales slow down is not to panic sell to the whole market, but to sell to a handful of individuals. Get their feedback, get their business, and then turn whatever you learn into an actual mass marketing effort, right? So this is not about new leads. It's not about content. It's not about creating another piece of reels or carousels. It's not even about you changing your offers or panic creating a new offer, right? There's people sitting on your phone, in your messages, in your emails right now who already know you, already trust you, and have potentially already bought from you in the past and asked about working with you but haven't pulled the trigger. And right now, you are probably beginning to think of names, right? You have names on your mind yet? Good. Those are your hottest opportunities, your hottest sales opportunities, especially when sales are down, but across the board every single day. Before you go and send out this big mass marketing email, I want you to look at the following 4 categories of people and ask yourself, who do I know? Who am I connected to who falls into one of these 4 categories? And then go and reach out to these people. Those 4 categories are people who said no, people who have been engaging with you for months, current and former clients, and strategic relationships and partner opportunities. Let's go through each and every single one of them. I'm going to help you identify some sales opportunities, okay? So, for you to actually take action on this live stream today, like I want you to literally open up your wherever you contact leads, your Instagram, your Substack DMs, your WhatsApp, your emails. Bring up a contact list. Bring up your contacts. Open your DMs. Don't message anyone yet. We just want to have a visual in front of us, right? So the promise of this is for you to have permission and to know who to reach out to in order to create your next sale in your business, all without mass marketing, all without having to grow more. That first type of person I mentioned, people who said no. Those are people who had a sales conversation with you, people who asked about your offer, who considered working with you, but haven't pulled the trigger just yet. They're hot. they're hot. They already crossed over the big hurdle of raising their hand and saying, I am very seriously considering working with you. So you don't actually want, so what you want to do is you want to re-engage them on the results that you could help them achieve. And you want to also acknowledge about yourself when they said no, you probably didn't go and ask why they're saying no, which is really vital information to have, right? So just because they said no, it doesn't mean that they hate you. It simply means, hey, like this wasn't the right opportunity. It's your job now to go and figure out why that was and shift course, right? And in the meantime, something may have changed, or maybe they simply forgot. So here, the principle of following up is so important. People who inquired about an offer but haven't followed through, hot sales opportunity. Go and follow up. Do both of you all the favor of serving by following up and saying, hey, I want to check in with you. We talked about creating A, B, and C result. Is this still a priority for you? I haven't seen your payment come through. Are there any additional questions that I can answer for you? Right? So an example question you could send to people who inquired but haven't pulled the trigger yet is this. Hey, so-and-so, I was thinking about our conversation about X, Y, and Z result, and I wanted to circle back. How are things going with that? Has anything changed since we spoke? You're not asking for the sale, but you're checking in. You're putting this back on people's radar. How many people can you send this message to? I bet you there's at least one person that you can send this message to. If you're watching the replay of this, how about you hit pause and send that message right now? Can you do that? Now, speaking of sending messages, before I go on to the other three categories of people, I want to take a moment to warmly invite you into an upcoming free workshop called 20 Leads in 2 Hours. I just got you to send one message to one person. Imagine sitting with me for 2 hours and actually sending up to 20 conversations. This takes place on September 8th at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. here in most parts of Asia, GMT +7. We are going to identify the people already in your world that are worth talking to, and I'll show you how to start those conversations without cold pitching. I will teach you my entire framework that my clients use to, in one of the cases of one of my clients, sell $25,000 over the summer without a launch, without a new offer. If you want that, this is exactly the place you want to come to. 20 Leads in 2 Hours is a free 2-hour-long workshop where I will teach you my Surf to Sell framework and figure out exactly how you can put yourself back in the driver's seat of your sales. We will make your sales regular, predictable, and scalable, all by learning how to serve towards a sale. This is not about cold messages. This is about learning how to build a viable relationship where the sale becomes the inevitable next step. I would love to have you at this workshop, 2 hours on September 8th. It's me and you, and then spreading impact. When you sell, you're expanding your impact, and this is why you went into business in the first place. So if you want to have made sure that you are signed up for the workshop, then you should take a moment to go ahead and click the link that I am popping in the comments right now and reserve your spot for free. You want to be there live. If you can't, no worries, you'll get the recording, but you want to be there live to get my actual eyes on your messages, to get my eyes on the type of people you're considering reaching out to. This is free, but it's going to cost you a little bit of courage, and all it's going to take beyond that is 2 hours. If for some reason the link in the comments doesn't work, my DMs are always open to you for the link and any other questions you may have. So simply shoot me a DM and let me know that you need the link so that you can reserve your spot for free. So we're all good in sending at least one message out today to someone who inquired about an offer and then didn't follow through. It's your job to follow up. Opportunity number 2. The people who have been engaging with you for months, but you haven't pulled them over into a conversation. So these are people who are like clearly a warm audience. They're not yet a lead because you don't really have a conversation with them, but they're clearly picking up what you lay down, right? So these are the people who are regularly commenting on posts. They're replying to notes. They're liking content. They answer questions. They're in the community chat. They refer or restack your articles and your notes. They've been around for a few months. Maybe they respond to a story, so you kind of have a thread going on Instagram, but you've not really stepped forward into opening a conversation. So it's your job, not your content's job, to turn that attention that you have from that audience member into a true lead, into true interest in your process. It's a relationship that you want to be building, right? So don't reach out to that person and be like, hey, you've been engaging. You want to talk about working with me? No. Everything I teach, I will teach you the grand scheme of this inside 20 leads in 2 hours. Everything I teach goes back to building a relationship and approaching the relationship with service. But if you're not messaging the people that are engaging with your content, you're missing out. You're being rude, actually. You're ignoring a person who keeps showing up to your party and you never walk over and be like, hey, how was it going? Right? So, and you can't assume that they know to reach out to you. Sometimes people who post regularly are being put on a pedestal by the average Joe because we're doing something that the average Joe doesn't do. So it is absolutely on you to go and reach out your hand and say, hey, come on in. So an example message could be, hey, so-and-so, I realized we've been in each other's worlds for a while and I'm curious, what's been resonating with you most about what I'm sharing lately? Or if you do know their problem or, you've talked enough in comments and replies, you could be a little more specific and you could say, hey, so-and-so, we've talked a bit about this and that problem in the comments and I've been thinking about you. How are things going with that? Start that conversation, become intentional about that conversation. Before you know it, you'll find yourself in a position where you can easily, and it would be ridiculous not to do it, invite that person to a connection call where you can invite them into a actual paid offer. Clear on that? So if you're watching the recording, I want you to go ahead and pause. And go into your notifications. Who's been in your notifications? Who's been just love bombing all over your content? Reach out to that person. Okay, great. You did that. You're back. Phenomenal. Here's opportunity number 3. Again, what are we talking about? If you're skipping ahead, we're talking about creating sales opportunities, right? Everything is as is. You have the same offers. You have the same audience size. Nothing has changed. There's still opportunities within your DMs. There's opportunities within the people that you know that you have not tapped into. We're tapping into these opportunities. So far, we have talked about people who inquired about an offer and haven't followed through. We have talked about people who have been love bombing all over your content, but you never were in a meaningful conversation with these people. Now we talk about your current and former clients. See, someone who's already gained enough trust in us, in our process, and in themselves to buy from us once, granted, you have delivered on your promise, that person is so likely to buy from you again. And you want to be the one selling to that person because you can be sure that colleagues, competitors in your market are selling to that person. So you want to be doing the same because for all they know, your clients, they can't get what they're being sold to by another marketer from you. So you gotta continuously slow down and say, hey, you've created this amazing result in working with me. What are you working on next? Great, I can support you with that. Let's have this conversation. Same with former clients, right? Current and former clients are always hottest to want to keep going, right? They've been nibbling away at their results, at their journey, and now you're like, hey, let's fucking go all in. I've helped you with this. I can also help you with that. Let's fucking go, right? The trust has been built. This can be a direct sale. This can be a direct invitation, right? You don't have to prove yourself from scratch. You don't have to like assume anything. They already know to work with me or they're done. Like, no, 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 no. You got more to give. They got more to gain. They got more places to go. Make the invitation to continue to be in partnership. So I'll give you a couple of messages you can send here. One to a former client and one to a current client. Picture a former client. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. If you're picturing a former client, you have a name, a face in mind. Great. Reach out to them and say something like, hey, so-and-so, I was thinking about the work we did around the specific thing, and I'm curious how that's been going for you. What has changed since we worked together? Notice something? These messages are so short. They're specific, they're short, they're brief. They take me 10 seconds to say on a voice note. They take me maybe 11 seconds to type up. And once you've reopened the conversation, you can now make the appropriate to their specific situation invitation. So that's a former client, but you can always serve your current client at a deeper level. So for a current client, you might say something like, you've made so much progress around A, B, and C result, and I'm curious, what feels like the next thing that you want to solve? Notice something? I'm not leading with the sale. I'm leading with the intention to serve at a deeper level. So if you're watching the replay of this, hit pause and go ahead and reach out to a former client and see where they're at and what they're working on. And then keep hitting pause and reach out to a current client and check in with them. Listen, this message might not lead to a direct sale, but it for sure will lead to the fact that you will now be able to serve your existing client at a deeper level. And when you do that, and when you lead your client relationships with that, your clients are going to want to stay with you because there's no reason to leave, right? So, hello, the Celebration Chronicle. It's so wonderful to have you on the live today. Just to give context again, we are here on this live today to really look at where are all of the untapped sales opportunities in your business. And we're going super, super, super vertical into your contact list. Because when sales are down, we don't want to panic create a new offer. We don't want to panic mass market and do a new launch. Sometimes, all the time, all that it takes is for you to look at who have I recently spoken to? Who is in my messages? Who is love bombing all over my content? And for you to learn the skill of serving that relationship intentionally so that the sale becomes the inevitable next step is often all that it takes for you to create a sales opportunity, for you to wake up tomorrow morning and have a sale. And I mean that 24 hours, you can have a sale by simply asking the right question. So just to recap, so far we've looked at 3 different types of people that I want you to look at and to message in order to gently create sales opportunities in your business without growing anything. We're not growing your audience, we're not growing your list, we're not building a new offer. We're utilizing what we have. We're creating buying opportunities. We're creating sales opportunities. So far, we looked at people who inquired about an offer and never pulled the trigger, and I taught you how to follow up. We looked at your current and your former clients, and I taught you how to serve both sets of clients at a deeper level and potentially create a sales opportunity again. And we also looked at the people who have been love bombing all over your content for months, and you haven't yet taken a moment to bring that conversation over into a private conversation in the DMs. And I taught you how to reach out to these people, both if you know what their specific problems is and if you don't yet know what their specific problems are. Across the board, notice what I'm not doing. I'm not giving you a script as to how you can cold pitch to that person out of the complete blue. We don't do that here at Way of the Founder. At Way of the Founder, we lead with service. At Way of the Founder, we sell through the relationship. We build relationships because when we know how to serve a person, when we actually give a shit about a person's situation, the sale and the invitation to have a conversation about how I can help you get to your goals becomes the natural, inevitable next step, and would be weird to not go to that place. That's how we approach sales here. Now, if you want the entire framework on Serve to Sell, my Serve to Sell framework, if you want to sit with me for free for 2 hours on September 8th, inside 20 leads in 2 hours, then we will go way, way deeper into exactly how my clients approach every single one of their sales, whether it is mass marketing and a launch, or a one-on-one conversation on a call, or a DM conversation in the DMs, in order to create sales predictably, repeatably, and scalably in their business. The Serve to Sell framework works across different industries. It doesn't just work for me as a business strategist and coach. It works for my clients who are yoga teachers, who are voice teachers, who are SAT tutors. You can see my clients are across the board in different niches and different markets, and the Serve to Sell framework works. And on September 8th, doing 20 leads in 2 hours. That's the title, 20 leads to 2 hours. I promise you, the title is the premise and it is the intention. If you bring your list of people, even if you look at your list of people and you're like, I don't know, these are just random audience members who hardly ever talk to me, I will teach you how to use a relationship-forward, service-based approach to make sales, to create sales that are inevitable and predictable, right? I want the intention with the workshop on September 8th is to put you back in the driver's seat of your sales. I don't want you to feel like your sales are up to this launch working or this email campaign working or your content taking off. Your sales are within your control, and I will teach you how to do that. And just to be clear, here at Way of the Founder, we don't do cold outreach. We don't do any cold sales. We don't do cold outreach. We don't do like out of the blue, hey, you've been here for a while, here is my offer. We build relationships, and we build relationships intentionally. And we'll teach you exactly the right steps that my clients go through with every single one of their leads. And when my clients begin to implement the Serve to Sell framework, you know what they tell me? They start to love sales. They start to find sales enjoyable. They start to find that there's fun to be had in selling. So if you want to have fun selling to your leads, then please join us on September 8th. It is free. All you need to bring is your booty and your courage. The link is in the comments. If for some reason the link in the comments doesn't work, you can always message me and say, I want to join 20 leads in 2 hours. Send me the link. Send me the link. We will create 20 conversations that could lead to potential clients on September 8th. All you got to do is sign up and show up. Now, we've talked about 3 sales opportunities. Talked about your former and current clients. We talked about people that are love bombing all over your content. And we have talked about people who inquired about a offer and never pulled the trigger. The final opportunity is referrals and strategic relationships. Now, if you haven't noticed, everything I teach, whether it is your messaging, your offers, your personal leadership, or your sales, goes back to building strategic relationships. And it goes back to building enough trust so that the sale becomes inevitable. So one thing that I teach my clients to do strategically is to build upon relationships with colleagues in the industry and to build upon the trust that you have built with your existing clients to naturally say, hey, I got a spot open. Who in your network would benefit from working with me? Please make an introduction. So we're not looking for people you can sell to. You're looking for people to extend an opportunity to. And referrals and strategic relationships are a hugely underestimated and therefore untapped sales opportunity. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about people who serve your ideal clients or who serve a subset of your ideal clients. People who have complementary expertise that you could partner up with. People who know your ideal client personally, people who have communities or audiences adjacent to you, people who regularly encounter the problem that you solve and therefore know people, and your current clients, because your current clients are in circles of people that you serve. So we're not looking for potential clients directly. We are looking for mutually beneficial opportunities that you can create with collaborators to serve both of your all's audiences. Because you don't always need access to more people. Sometimes you need access to the right people through someone who opens the door, who already has trust with those people. You're borrowing trust, but you're also going to serve that audience. So, in order to create partnerships like this, you really want to be working on these partnerships every single day. But I'm sure you know someone right now who is in your contact list who, now that I've explained who a strategic partner is and a referral partner, who you think like, oh, wait a minute, we can do a live stream together. We can do something together. We can create something that is mutually beneficial together. And all it takes is for you to send a 20-second voice note. And that 20-second voice note might sound something like this. Hey, so-and-so, I've been thinking about the people we both work with, and I realize there's probably quite a bit of overlap. I'd love to catch up and hear what you're seeing in your world right now. Want to chat sometime. That's it. It being very clear that you're not selling. You're reaching out as a colleague. And again, you're not saying let's do something together. You're not saying, please send me referrals. You're building a relationship. And this is the through line for all 4 of these sales opportunities. And you probably have been resisting to seeing these 4 categories of people as sales opportunities because all you knew to do before today was to just reach out to these people and ask for the sale directly. And when you ask for the sale directly without having served, without having built a relationship, without having qualified what specific problems this person has, you actually haven't earned the ability to sell. And now selling becomes very unnatural. But what I'm teaching you here today is for you to tap into these 4 categories of people and create relationships. And when we create relationships intentionally, that's when sales become inevitable and predictable. So, 4 people, I'd love for you to walk away from today's live stream having messaged 4 people. A former or current client, someone who inquired and didn't pull the trigger, someone who's love bombing your content, and a strategic partner. I've given you example messages for all 4. You could do this in the next 5 minutes. Listen, you could do this in the next 5 minutes and tap into 4 sales opportunities. Imagine if you reached out to 2 current or former clients, 2 people who inquired and didn't pull the trigger on the sale, etc., etc. That's 8 people in 10 minutes. You see where I'm going with this, right? And again, now imagine if we found not 3 or 4 people, but 20 people. 20 people that are hot leads that you can gently, through building a relationship, through selling via service, turn into a dream client of yours. This is exactly what we do on September 8th. This is a free workshop that I'm offering as a service to my community where I'm teaching you the entire framework. Listen, I'm not one to hold back. I'm not going to be like, well, here's the first 3 steps and you have to pay me in order to uncover the big 4th step that's going to lead to the sale. You get it all. You get the whole thing. You get the entire framework that you can follow. You get examples. And then not only that, but for an entire hour doing these 2 hours, you get my hand holding yours as you go and jump into action and actually uncover not 4 like today, but 20 or more if you're being ambitious. Minimum of 20 conversations with 20 leads that could turn into paying clients. I'll walk you very briefly through the framework, which is super simple. You're going to learn how to connect in a really intentional way with as with parts of your community and parts of your market. You're going to learn how to qualify, which is something that I don't see enough people teach. Because just being of service and giving value like everyone teaches really does absolutely nothing to your sales, or it also doesn't contribute a lot of actual value to your audience members because you haven't done the work to qualify the people who are in your DMs. So you'll learn how to connect, you'll learn how to qualify, you'll learn how to serve with boundaries in place and in an intentional way. You will learn, if you're a coach or someone who tends to ask really tough questions of their paying clients, how to bring an element of that skill forward into the sales process. You will learn how to invite, you will learn how to follow up, and you will learn how to ask for the sale and make the sale the natural, why didn't you ask me this sooner? Next step. That is all that we do inside the 20 Leads in 2 Hours workshop. You will walk away knowing exactly how you can spend just 90 minutes of your day every single day to claim back control over your sales and make your sales regular, predictable, and scalable. And I know I can deliver on this workshop because I've given it multiple times at this point to multiple different people. And every single time people walk away and they tell me the next day, oh my gosh, Dina, I reached out to the 20 people and then I reached out to 15 people more and now I'm having sales conversations. Thank you so much. All you got to do is sign up, show up, and do the work. I will be there lovingly holding your hand. And sometimes if I have to, kick your booty a little bit and tell you that you're holding back on the sale when the sale is actually the highest level of service that you can achieve in having a conversation with a prospective client. So go ahead and grab your seat for 20 Leads in 2 Hours. Bring your contact list. There will be homework for you to do before the workshop. And then we're going to go and reach out to 20 more people. Today, if you implement everything that I taught you today, you should be in a position to reach out to a minimum of 4 people. And you know what? If you want to send me a not a voice memo, if you want to send me a DM tomorrow and let me know how it went, how it felt to send these 4 messages, and the resonance, the response that you got back from those 4 people that you would have messaged today, I would be so eternally grateful and I would celebrate the shit out of you. If you sent me a quick DM tomorrow here on Substack and let me know how it went. How did it feel? What's the response that you got? And of course, what's the damn result? So, you are in control of your sales. You're in control of your sales. You don't have to become a sleazy salesperson in order to be in control of your sales. You get to lead with the thing that guided you into business in the first place, and that is your purpose. You get to lead with your heart, which is what guided you into business in the first place. It's simply that no one so far has taught you how to center your heart and how to center your purpose inside sales in order to make sales enjoyable. I'm here to teach you this. I've given you a snippet of this today during the live stream. Go and implement. Go and see what this feels like for you in your body and your business when you implement this process. And then boom, show up on September 8th. I cannot wait to serve you on September 8th. 20 Leads in 2 Hours. You gotta come. You have to come. You have to come. If you want to make your sales feel enjoyable and beyond that, put your booty back in the driver's seat of your actual revenue, then I will see you on September 8th, and I cannot wait. If you have watched this live stream all the way to the end and you find yourself having questions, again, my DMs are so open for you. You can comment here or you can just private message me, and I will be so happy to hear from you and to guide you on your journey towards creating more impact. And of course, increasing your revenue. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.